fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Lining up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Ooh, you take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive news show with Let's Be SB. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with Tracy Carson of Tracy Carson Media and Anna Hart of Borelli, etc. What the problem with that name? I have no idea. Today's show, we're going to be looking back, and I haven't made the decision yet of maybe making this the final show on this subject or not. So we'll figure that out as time goes on. But we're going to be looking at the student activists during the civil rights movement. And we're looking at literally 3 different groups that did have an impact during the civil rights. One group that actually led to another movement. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started, Tracy, how's everything going?
I did nothing today, and I'm regretting it. I should have taken some episodes, but I was just like, I'm not feeling it. So hopefully I can cheer up.
All right, Anna.
Oh, I watched a documentary today called The Monster Inside Me. It's about Lyme disease, which is, for anybody who doesn't know, what I've been living with since 17, so 25, 26 years. And it was emotional. It was not somewhere I was prepared to go, but it was good.
All right. Well, let's see what we got out there. Hey, what's up? I just want to say that March Madness game has been amazing the past few days. For the second time in history, the number 1 seed lost to a 16th seed.
When does football start?
I don't know, but boy, the people at the office, I don't think anybody's winning. I really don't. I have not met one person that sat there and said, "Oh, my bracket looks great." I don't think anybody is winning, so there must be a lot of upsets out there.
Yeah, I know people like other sports. Haven't watched one game of it, so.
Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Do not forget to comment. Folks, we are 14 people away from 100, and believe me, the most irritating part of the whole situation is the good old days of being a rookie and getting your feet wet and everything else is over, because I'm used to go with 10, 20 views a week before the next show. No, we are now into the thousands of views a week. So you're watching a freaking show. All you have to do is click that little subscribe button. Click that little notification bell so you'll know when we coming out. Just click it, because you're watching. Believe me, you're watching. And unfortunately, and I think I'm gonna do this every week now, just to mess with people. Fortunately, unfortunately, the number one view from last week's video. Never insult a flat-chested woman. Had the most views from last week. I don't know what people thought the video was going to be about, but apparently it just blew up and it kept going. It was like, are y'all serious? But whatever. That's your to each his own. Maybe y'all have a fetish for flat-chested women.
And what's wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's what I know. Y'all probably ain't big college fans, but the tournament is always a fun time to watch. I I'm just not a basketball fan. I just never
Parker,
have
you
been.
know it's only one sport I like. Period.
Hand pink
Hand
waving.
Waving.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me go to the yep. Okay, that's a emoji. But on outside, if you go there, it literally is a pink hand waving, which is creepy in and of itself. But apparently on my side, it just gives you the hand pink. You have to go see it. It really is not what you think.
Oh yeah, it is a
Hello,
pink hand
Susan.
waving.
Yeah, it's a big pink hand waving at you. It's like, hello, Susan. How are you doing?
Hey Susan.
It's every bit as bad for having large-breasted women. You know what the deal is? You like what you like. Because I done got to the point now where I grew up
That's the thing.
and I had to grow up on the fact that people just like what they like. They just do. If you go to the club like I used to go to the club and you see a couple together that you go, hey, why y'all together? Because you like what you like. Everybody has that deal, so I don't even sweat it. Oh my God, I just looked at it. It says 184 videos on that one. Yeah, 184 views. So, yeah. The one that's still the one before last week, because I'll never forget that. The one before last week that had the most views was when Republicans insults sound like more like compliments.
Why do Republican insults
Sound more
sound
like
more like
yeah.
compliments? Yeah, yeah.
That was the one that gave off some of the most horrendous, not horrendous, hilarious, not horrendous, like bad, hilarious. Like, dude, you were better off not saying anything. It was just okay. Uh,
And
we got
everybody's describing woke, like giving their definition.
keep that in mind, Anna. We got tease mocked and insulted too. Who? Because I ain't feel a tease mock and insult from none of what they were saying. I just thought,
She's talking about the big breasted women.
oh,
Ah,
uh,
everybody, look, everybody
but
gets
that's the
it
deal
in
though.
their
And
own
flat
way.
chested, you
All
don't think
right?
flat chested women got the same insults though? It was the
Of
You
same.
course,
look
they
like
got
an
their
ironing board. You don't have any.
own.
We, I was a guy. I've grown up. I've grown up, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I didn't have, oh my God, your breast came into the room before you did. Compared to, um, so you're never gonna grow them? Is that the case? It's just gonna be like that forever, huh? Alrighty. Well, so I had the same insults as a little kid. I remember them all. It was the same thing for kids who couldn't grow a mustache. Oh, you're gonna be a little boy for the rest of your life. How cute.
Hmm.
Trust me, if you said that to a kid in the hood, it was not only insulting, it was almost kind of dangerous because you be the one that's getting bullied on.
Yeah, growing a mustache not something I want to do. But hey, that's
Well,
just me.
I don't want you to get one, please. And there are men who like women with mustaches. Just to tell you, I'm just
We grow hair. We grow hair out of pretty much
That's
everywhere.
why they make nails.
No.
I'll take your word for it. Let's get this party started. Yep, you got it, Marlon. I know. I told you. I was an evil little such and such when I was little. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the student activists during the civil rights movement. And we're going to start off with the Little Rock Nine.
The Little Rock Nine was a group of high school students who were hand-chosen by the NAACP to test whether Brown v. Board of Education was going to be enforced. It's not surprising that this ruling needed to be tested, considering the unrest that followed it, including the gruesome murder of Emmett Till. Black people needed to make sure that the state, not just the literal state of Arkansas, but the United States as a country, was going to follow through on its commitment. Through generations of experience, Black folks knew better than to think that just because the Supreme Court made a ruling for Black equality, that meant people across the country would follow it. Daisy Gatson Bates, president of the Arkansas NAACP, was the mastermind behind this test. She recruited 10 high school students to integrate the all-white Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. The students knew they would face some serious opposition, and the NAACP did everything they could to prepare them for what they might experience. This included counseling sessions and practicing how to respond to hostile situations. And remember, these are high schoolers, not battle-tested activists. Their courage and commitment just can't be overstated. On September 4th, 1957, the first day of school, the state of Arkansas was ready for a fight. Governor Orville Faubus called in the National Guard to keep the students from integrating the school. Daisy Gatson Bates had arranged for the students to meet up before going to school in order to protect them from mob activity. But one of the students, Elizabeth Eckford, didn't have a phone, and so she didn't get the message. Eckford had to walk to school alone while being screamed at and harassed as soon as she was within sight of the building. The National Guard even kept her from entering the building while the mob harassed her outside. And because of the violence and threats against her father's job, another one of the students, Jane Hill, withdrew and returned to her segregated school, making the Little Rock 10 now the Little Rock 9. This havoc went on for weeks, meaning 0 of the 9 students were able to attend a full day of school. They attempted to go to school through a side door on September 23rd, but an angry mob threatened to rush the students. The NAACP was so afraid for the students' lives that they let the authorities send them home. It would get so bad that the President of the United States, Dwight D. Eisenhower, had to send down 1,200 members of the Army and federalize the National Guard to protect the students from the mob. They were finally able to attend school on September 25th, almost a month after school had actually started. All 9 students remained there for the rest of the year. But that didn't stop the harassment. Every day on the way to school, they would have things thrown at them, including acid. Each student had an armed guard that escorted them to class. But the guards didn't go inside the classroom, or the bathroom, or the locker room. So the students still experienced horrible harassment at the hands of their classmates. After one student, Minnie Jean Brown, was expelled in February of 1958 because of an altercation she got into with a white classmate, some students wore badges that read, "1 down, 8 to go." Ultimately, through incredible persistence, on May 27, 1958, Ernest Green graduated and became the first Black student in history to graduate from Central High School. The presence and the reaction to the Little Rock 9 forced the nation to confront how hard it was going to be for the promise of Brown v. Board and desegregation more generally to be fulfilled.
Now you see why I'm making the decision about making this my last one, because few notes that I want to go through real quick that I had to write down. Do you know how messed up society was back then and kind of is now, that you have to train children to stand up for their own rights? Train children, not adults, not the military. You're training children simply so they can stand up for their own rights, simply because the adults knew what they was going to go through. So much to the point that one of the students dropped out because their threats really did have an effect on her family. I didn't even know it was the Little Rock 10, and it wound up being the Little Rock 9. Second thing,
The bravery cannot be overstated.
the fact that you are so racist and bigoted, the governor of Little Rock. You are so racist and bigoted and hatred in your heart that you're willing to use government resources to keep children out of school. Do you know how far of a hatred you have to use government resources, military resources, military that's used for protection, military resources that's used for rescue, military resources to use to actually escort more important things? No, you use it to keep children out of school. Grown adults, now talking about Little Rock. God, I hope y'all had better things to do with your time besides trying to pick on little kids to keep them from learning. But I doubt it. I doubt it, because you're probably the people who think you're doing a good thing. Protecting. And the last thing, how bad could it be? How bad could it be? How bad could it be that we had to send 1,200 more military down to get the kids to go to school? Because they're military again. This should have never, ever, this whole thing should have never reached federal government. It reached the president's desk? Are you serious? This is not even a state situation. This was a city situation. No, it wasn't even a city situation. It was a school. One school situation reached the president's desk. And he had to sit in more troops. So yeah, it wasn't as bad as we made it out to be. All of this is just made up. It wasn't as bad. And you can say that because you'll try to go out of your way not to learn about atrocity crap like this. So, Tracy?
People need to stop congratulating Eisenhower for sending the military. If you think about it, they didn't do anything. They didn't go into the classrooms. They didn't go into the locker rooms. They didn't go into... What were they there for? They were just there to escort them in the building and out. That still didn't stop the white students from acting a complete fool. So, miss me with the Eisenhower did a great thing. No, he didn't. They just literally were in and out bodyguards. They didn't do anything. They didn't sit with them when they were in lunch. They didn't escort them to the bathrooms. They didn't sit with them in the classroom, where that would have been a lot more helpful. And I wonder, was it on purpose? Did he? Because he's the commander in chief at the time. That they say, yeah, just give them the basics and they'll get tired and they'll go home and this will all be over in a few weeks. Or did he really want to integrate schools?
He wanted to get them into the school. He
In
didn't
the
want to.
school.
He
With
did
no
not.
protection.
He didn't want to. No, and that's my point. He didn't want to protect them.
So what?
He wanted to get them in the schools. The law says that they're allowed to go to the schools. They ain't say nothing about every bitch be protected. They just said get them in the schools, and that's what he did. He got them into the schools. So little 14, 15-year-old kids, after you walk past that threshold, you're on your own.
Yep, you're basically on your own.
Anna? And if you're not up to it, we can move on.
Okay. I learned about this probably around the age of first year of high school, and yeah, I was horrified. One thing I never thought on was how did it go from those 9 to what I was familiar with? And that was a very integrated area. We had all kinds of people in New York. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. How long did it take? Did they? Well, how long were the National Guard used? I guess is one of my first questions. Do you
Well,
know?
I have no idea. Apparently, whoever went there, so if they're teenagers and one of them actually did graduate,
And you would have to assume at least 4 years.
yeah, at least let's say at least 4 years.
More than two. More than two, not more than 10. Somewhere between 2 to 10 years.
Okay. Okay.
And that's just assuming that they all realize, hey, we're fighting this for no reason. I'm not. I'll just give them that to make myself feel like I don't want to go do something that's untracy like, because I don't want to get Marla's channel banned.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, people, we got to do better. We still got to do better.
Yeah. See what we got here. Did people who brought a sign and protest the administration of black kids going to school have anything better to do that day? Did they
Nope.
call their boss that morning and say, "Sir, I can't come in because I'm protesting immigration"?
Yep, that's pretty much what they did.
Also sad that they felt they had to pick what they perceived to be the brightest and most talented black kids to be the ones to go in, as if the less smart kids didn't also deserve an education. Yeah, because what they wanted to really do to make sure, Parker, and again, I've said this about the black community: we don't achieve, we overcome. Because they knew you was not going to be fairly graded in that school. You knew beyond a shadow of a doubt. Little Johnny gets a B, you darn well knew you're getting an F, and it was probably the same paper. Probably had the same answers. Or even if you got an A on there, you must have had cheated.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
you
any
can't be
excuse to
that
do.
smart.
Yeah, any
I'm
excuse would
surprised
do.
that one of the students graduated. I'm like, oh, they let him graduate? What?
One out of the 9.
Well, no, I'm assuming all 9 graduated. I'm just gonna assume it, but he was the first one.
He was the first to graduate.
Oh, okay, so they weren't saying that only one.
No,
Oh
he was
no,
the
no.
first one.
He was the first one to graduate.
Okay.
Which again,
Yeah, the fact that he got through 4 years. Let's just assume he was like what 13. Well, no, he got to be 18, 14 when he got in there. He graduated. Yeah, Marlon, you keep trying to make me mad, and you keep.
I told you. And you want me see?
I said get a happier subject. I'm like, shoot.
Well, thank goodness the second hour is going to be a little better than the first hour. But again, I'm not going to not show these things because it's hard to watch. This is history. It is what it is. It's done. Y'all need to know it. Ain't no use be playing around because you feel sad about it. I'm pretty sure, however you felt about reading and listening to these stories, will never ever be as bad as living in it or through it. So, like my grandma used to say, suck it up, buttercup. Next one, the Greensboro Four.
Now, let's get to know the Greensboro Four. At North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, another historically black university also known as North Carolina A&T, students started organizing to integrate lunch counters in the South. These sit-ins were an outgrowth of earlier nonviolent integration efforts in Chicago by an organization called the Fellowship of Reconciliation in 1942. James Farmer, who would eventually be the leader of the Congress of Racial Equality, also known as CORE, was at the forefront of those sit-ins. On February 1st, 1960, Ezell Blair Jr., David Richmond, Franklin McCain, and Joseph McNeil, who would become known collectively as the Greensboro Four, started off these protests by asking for service at an all-white lunch counter in the Woolworth store of Greensboro, North Carolina. And after they asked, they were denied. But they persisted each day after that, and more HBCU students would join them. By February 5th, about 300 students sat at the counter and protested at Woolworths. They took up so much space that they kept the lunch counter and other local businesses from even running. This led to heavy television coverage of these sit-ins, and as a result, an entire sit-in movement erupted across the United States. By the end of March, 55 cities and 13 states had experienced sit-ins, not just in the South, but in the North as well. They were spat on, had condiments poured on their heads, and had cigarette butts pushed into their skin. But by the end of July, the Woolworth lunch counter had been integrated.
You really trying to get me to cuss, aren't you? That's the goal of these things. Just get Tracy to
I
cuss.
told you. The things that we had to go through just for the most simplest.
Of lunch counter. And you notice that first picture they had a black person working behind the counter.
Oh, there was plenty of
So
times where we had black
so he
people.
couldn't be served if he sat like if he just wanted lunch, he couldn't sit at the counter and eat.
Tracy, it was so bad during them days that if you worked there, you still had to come through the back door. Like you couldn't walk through the front door and get ready for work like today. No, you had to go through the back door. And you worked there. And yes, you're saying it exactly right. You could work at a place that you would not be served at. Now we're talking about the lunch counter. Let's talk about restaurants. Let's talk about movie theaters.
Movie theaters,
Let's talk about amusement parks,
music, and
music theaters, museums.
houses of worship.
I mean, these are places that you can work here, you just can't be here. And the only reason that you are here is because you work here. But as soon as
Yeah,
you
we're
stop
doing
working,
you the favor.
yeah. So to move on, because I got a little extra surprise at the end of all this, just to bring everybody back up to a joyful
They
beginning.
get they come up in.
This is history. We pretty much done
Oh,
figured it. Yep,
dang.
they didn't. They didn't. But the strange thing about the Greensboro Four is what I said early in the show, how one movement started another movement.
Now, you would think that a bunch of students protesting on the national news would set off a light bulb in the heads of older leaders who were working on civil rights. But not everyone fully understood the power of these students right away. But there was one woman who definitely did. Ella Baker, the acting director of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC, realized that the students were important and could play a unique and central role in the movement. She organized a 1960 conference that trained students in nonviolent direct action and encouraged them to develop a strong autonomous organization independent of the SCLC. And this led to the formation of one of the most important and more radical groups of the entire civil rights movement, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And many of the SNCC students would go on to become Freedom Riders, a group that traveled throughout the South, testing integration in places like bus stations and restaurants using nonviolent direct action. The Freedom Rides were actually started by members of the Congress of Racial Equality, but they were also joined by members of SNCC and the SCLC. Starting in Washington, D.C. in May of 1961, an integrated team of black and white activists rode on buses as far as Anniston and Birmingham, Alabama. In Anniston, Alabama, the Ku Klux Klan, the domestic white supremacist terror organization, and other local white mobs bombed the bus and brutally beat the riders. In Birmingham, the students were once again attacked by white mobs and Klan members, and after the driver refused to go any further, the students were evacuated to New Orleans, Louisiana on May 15, 1961. But if you thought that this would be the end of the story, then you clearly didn't know these students very well. Organizers from other activist groups started to support these students, and other freedom rides began happening throughout the South. And by the fall of 1961, the Kennedy administration started to pressure the Interstate Commerce Commission to protect the activists. And this was the whole point. It wasn't that these freedom riders were even asking for a new law to protect them. They were asking simply for the one that already existed to actually be enforced. And as a result of the freedom rides, the Interstate Commerce Commission finally began enforcing the segregation ban in interstate transit terminals. By 1965, SNCC had more staff members than any other civil rights organization in the South. They not only engaged in desegregation activism, they also conducted voting registration projects all over the region. And what's more, they also built two independent political parties, one of which was the well-known Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. SNCC organized labor unions, agricultural cooperatives, and reinvigorated the women's liberation movement. They also inspired what would become known as the New Left movement, which was the radical left movement that became active in the 1960s and 70s. It was composed of college students and young intellectuals whose goals included furthering racial equality, non-intervention in foreign affairs, and other major social changes. The work of these young activists completely transformed the civil rights movement.
Parker, let me read Parker's thing because it is so crazy looking back at how the most mild form of protest or civil disobedience was viewed as the most radical, dangerous actions someone could take. Such a disproportionate reaction. How dare you people stand up for your own rights?
Yeah. And I bet you when those buses got bombed, the police, we didn't see anything happen. We didn't see anything. What bombings? What are you talking about?
But I like how that guy did it, though. I like what he said at the end. And you thought we was going to stop.
Yep, we not stopping.
We're not stopping. Here's what you didn't understand back then and now. We can't afford to stop. Do you not get what happens when we stop? When we stop, we slide back. We're not stopping because we know what could happen. This is being pissed off because we got a freaking state who's still talking about bringing back lynching laws. This is what happens when you stop. This is what happens when you even slow down.
Segregation is on its way back. That's
So
been one of the
segregation is
bills.
here. It's here.
Segregation never really left, and
Yeah,
we
it never
still
really
have
left.
an all-white neighborhood. Yet, God forbid, we have an all-black neighborhood. Now we segregate.
Or
Come on,
we'll just
y'all.
we
It
just allow
never.
gentrification to take place, and then we just keep moving the black people further and further away and isolating them. Oh, and then don't let us sell our homes because they. I'm gonna shut up. No,
Oh,
no.
go ahead. Sell your home for hundreds of thousands of dollars less value because
It's a black person's picture. Are you serious?
you got a black person picture up on the wall. Yeah, it's no, we can't stop.
I just wondered what happened to SNCC. I'm like, they had all that power. It's just like they just disappeared.
Yeah, I think I have theas on that one. Yes, the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party is important. Ella Baker helped create it with Fannie Lou Hamer and a couple of other people.
What happened to that party?
I have to
Because they
look
should
up.
have needed.
I have got to look up Fannie Lou Hamer. I got a couple of things because um, right now, thank you, Theas. Right now, I've been on a oh, what is his name?
Kwame something something.
Carmichael.
No, that was his given name, and then he
I
changed it.
know, but I've been on his route for the longest time now, and I've been listening to his speeches and listen. His speeches is phenomenal. I'll give you that. You got to watch the interviews because that's the. It's one of those things where it's almost like stop trying to get got you questions to this guy because it's not going to come out great for you. And so far, it hasn't. Like it's just stop the got you. I'm gonna get you on this one.
Was he a professor or just an activist?
He was just an activist.
Okay, because I don't know much about him.
You have to
What's the
look up.
name?
I can see his face in my head, but I can't call his names. Something something Carmichael. But then he changed his name to Kwame something something. I just cannot remember.
This is gonna kill me because what is his name?
Is it Kwame Ture?
I think that's it.
I I think I know that name.
Stokely Carmichael. Thank you.
Stokely
Thank you,
Carmichael.
Parker.
Jeez.
Stokely Carmichael. Yes, thank you, Parker.
We was like
Big
something
enough,
something
right?
Carmichael. Something.
And I don't even know. And here's the funny thing about it: I don't even know how I could forget that there actually is a wrestling manager whose name is Stokely Carmichael. Not his real name, of course, but it was like it's Stokely Carmichael. And I was like,
But what did he change his name to, though? Oh, you said it, Anna. You said it.
Kwame Ture.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what he changed his name to. I was like, he changed his.
you have to watch some of his videos. It is phenomenal. Marlon, I can see you some of the important videos about Fannie Mae, especially her role. Please do, please do, because
Wasn't that the convention where they walked out? It was something about the 1964 Democratic Convention that they did that was like history making, and I forget what it was.
I know one thing about Fannie Mae was she was in Mississippi, and the governor, they was doing a protest as usual, and the governor said, "Do you know who I am?" And she said, "Yes, Governor, whatever. I know exactly who you are. Do you know who I am?" And he said, "Yes, I know who you are. Do you think everything that you doing, just try to be flippant? Do you think what you're doing is going to change anything? Do you think what you're doing is going to?" She said, We'll see. Because one of the stories that I did have was some of the Freedom Riders were arrested. They eventually got out on bond. These back then, if you look at it, was $25, $50, whatever. But you got to look at this is the 60s. So $25 and $50.
Yeah, that was a lot of money back then.
$200, $300 in our time now. Here was the trick. Remember that the Freedom Riders that went through Mississippi and Alabama didn't stay in Mississippi and Alabama. So what they did try to be funny was, okay, you're out on bail, but you have to show back up for your trial. Feeling that none of these people was not going to show up for the trial. Thus, they get to keep the money. Because remember, the NAACP and a lot of other organizations was funding this money. We'll just bankrupt you. There's no way that all these people from all these other different states are going to come in and stand for trial for this. You don't come back, we keep the money. They came back. It was beautiful to see that whole courtroom filled with every person that was arrested right there in front of them. They were back. See, like I said, we don't achieve, we overcome. Because we know that the most evil thing we think that you can do, you will do. So yes, they wasn't coming in cars. They was coming in a bunch of cars. They was coming in buses. They was coming in trains. They were walking. Because we knew the most evil thing that you would try to do is to bankrupt an organization that's just trying to fight for African American rights. Fannie Mae Harper created a separate party from the official Mississippi Democratic Party. They had their own delegates and tried to get reparations at the 64 convention. Okay, she created a separate party because the official Mississippi Democrats were pro-segregation.
No, I don't believe it.
Democrat, the biggest oxymoron ever.
I'm shocked.
Democrats, Mississippi. Like, yeah, wonder which direction they gonna go. Anyway, we almost up on the second hour, so it's no use paying attention. So through a lot of negotiation, through a lot of paperwork, through a lot of irritation, I can officially and finally say beyond a shadow of a doubt, starting next Saturday will be the official season 3 of Radical Truth to Power and Saturday Night Vibe. We made it another season. Everybody is coming back. And we'll have the same stories, the same arguments, the same loud yelling and screaming at each other.
And hopefully a Mafia video of the week.
Hopefully a Mafia video of the week. Hopefully a lot of more real or Nas. I haven't well, you know what? I literally have found a real or nah. But I'll play that probably tomorrow. More Am I the A-hole? More Foxy's videos of the week. Thank you for everyone for getting us through season 2. It has been a dramatic change between season 1 and season 2 because, like I said, the viewership of season 2 has been huge. It has been a great change. Um, I'm just so proud of us. I really am. When I started this, I started by myself. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I thought I was going to be just a boring old newscaster and just sit there and tell you about the current news and events and everything. And then I met these three wonderful people, Tracy, Anna, and Theas, and everything changed. And other than looking forward to dates with my wife, other than going out with my wife and vacation, things like that, this is the most things that I look forward to is being on these shows with these people. So again, I thank you. I thank the people who always is here support this. That is Mickey. That is Susan. That is Parker, who came from out of the blue. I thank you. I thank the people who dropped by. If I didn't name you, it ain't because I forgot. It's because there's so many. But I thank you.
Dash, Learn Life, uh, uh, and all the others.
All the others, all the other people. I thank you all. So we are going to go ahead and take our 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we will see you all on the other side with Am I the A-Hole, Foxy's videos of the week, and Mafia video of the week. Stay tuned.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise.
are back, and as always, it's time to pay those bills. Please do not forget that Radical Truth to Power is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please do not forget to support Tracy at a Better Tracy Media page, patreon.com. Please do not forget to support Theas at patreon.com, Complex Mind. Help support him in all of his endeavors. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com, Radical Truth to Power. Help support me in all my endeavors, exactly the way it's spelled, capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, Borelli, etc. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, if you want to drop me a line, which is filling up really quick, so please get it in while you can, because I'm running out of space, radtp@outlook.com. That's radtp@outlook.com. Oh, and by the way, for our new person learning life, thank you again, sir, for showing. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I haven't said in a long while, but tickle the balls of the algorithm so we can get more people watching and let us know that we're on the air right now. I haven't said that in a long time.
It's true.
Get in there.
Just like the video. That's all you gotta do.
No, he had to say that. Thumb up.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. So, I haven't played this video in a long time. Mafia Video of the Week. I'm playing this video for two reasons. One, just to shut her up. And two, it's never going to happen. And two, because if anybody don't like this, you can blame her. Mafia Video of the Week comes from our very own Tracy Carson. And once I play this video, you'll realize why I don't play videos from Tracy Carson.
But he does. Look.
No time soon after this. No time soon. I'm still not playing somebody's talking to the trees, though. I just can't bring myself to do it. But here is the reason why I don't play Tracy's videos.
Yes.
He's that bass player.
You didn't even play the best part when they did Sesame Street. I'm like, boy, you rarely do I get a video where I can both shout and relive my childhood. You don't get too many videos like that.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
Yeah, that's a church. That's a gospel choir.
And that causes you to shout?
Yeah, because they churched it. They took a song that's traditionally not, and then they turned it into something else.
Secular music.
Yeah, they took secular music and made it more churchy.
Reading Rainbow.
The best one was Sesame Street. I'm like, wait a minute now. I almost wanted to take out the tambourine. I was like, wait a minute.
Ace lyric.
Parker, Wilkins Coffee will never be on this show like ever again.
Well,
So
now that's
don't
what.
worry about it. Take a look.
See, now you singing it just like that. You.
Yep.
What's wrong
Thank
with
you,
it?
Susan. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Nothing.
That singing wasn't nearly as bad as most of you. Yeah, we haven't had any bad singing on this show because I can't find any more without repeating myself.
Oh, I know plenty more. I
Yeah,
haven't
no,
sent you
yeah,
Ebony
don't
Jenkins.
do
I
not
haven't
send it
sent
to
Don't
you.
me.
challenge her.
No.
No, he doesn't have to challenge me. I could just simply send a video of me singing. Hey, that's real easy.
No. That was the only one that
The
that was
Sesame Street one was good.
the Sesame Street. They sung Sesame Street. They sung
Barney
Mr. Rogers. They sung Barney the Dinosaur. It was better singing than
Cheddar
Chit
Whack,
Chat.
Oh,
That's not saying much though. That's not
they
really.
had harmony. First of all, that group had harmony. They were singing all their parts. They were harmonizing. You cannot take that away
Here's the
from them.
deal. It isn't that they couldn't sing. It isn't that they wasn't harmonizing. It wasn't that they wasn't sounding good. They sounded fantastic, by the way. But you're singing Reading Rainbow and Sesame Street.
Would you expect that at church? Would you come to church and think, you know what the choir's gonna do? They gonna sing the theme to Sesame Street. You never see it coming. You be like, what?
And the
They
next
did
thing you
what?
know, and I'm walking right back out.
You're not
going,
walking out the door. You're gonna be right up there clapping.
I ain't going to hell for you people. I'm out. See
You
y'all
are
later.
not going to
Bye.
hell for singing to sing
Bye.
to Sesame Street.
See y'all later. Have a good one. Y'all have fun with that.
And they had, each of them did their parts. You can hear the sopranos, you can hear the altos, you can hear the tenor and the bass. They had it
By
all.
the way, the lead person, yeah, that's a bad singer. That was.
But he wasn't singing on that clip that you played.
No, I know. That's why I cut him out.
Yeah.
That was, dude. You're hitting some notes that's not even in the It's not even real.
Chit chat chatter. I forgot all about that video.
Nope. Still mine is. Did it till it die. That's always going to be my favorite one. It'll be the first song on Easter Sunday. They break out with the Reading Rainbow song.
No, not on Easter, because your feelings will get hurt then. We don't play about Easter Sunday. No.
Remember the good old days when you didn't play about Sunday? Now you done broke it down to holidays. I'm not going to hell for y'all. I'm walking out. Nope. Lord, please let me get to the car before you strike this church. I just want to make it to the car. I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with it.
Hey, it's better than that one guy that was moonwalking. The renewed mind is the key guy.
Everybody a-hole. I'm sorry, I was pulling the Anna. All right, since we're way ahead of time, we have two of them today. That will officially clean out my file, so I will at least have some new ones to, listen to. So, the very first one, my new girlfriend is a racist.
I'm a 24-year-old guy, and I've been dating my girlfriend, who's 23, for about 5 months. Every other month, my grandmother hosts a large family dinner with all my close relatives. She encouraged me to invite my girlfriend over for the dinner yesterday. For some context, my entire family and I are black, and my girlfriend is from a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant family. Uh-oh, I hope this isn't going where I think it's going. I was at the dinner party yesterday, and I went to go hang out with my 7-year-old niece, who I'm very fond of, and the rest of the kids to play Monopoly. My girlfriend tagged along. My niece was counting the play money to pass out to everyone, and one of the other kids said something about how he wanted to be rich and get all the $500 bills. My niece, out of nowhere, blurted out that she couldn't be rich because she's an N-word. I was totally taken aback, and I asked her who told her that. Apparently, some bully at school said that to her on career day when they were sharing dream jobs, and she said that she wanted to be a rich president. I told her that that wasn't true at all and hugged her, and she started crying. Then my girlfriend jumped in and told my niece that it's really important to forgive the boy who said that because he probably wasn't trying to be mean and was just confused. I was totally shocked and told her she needs to stop trying to justify what happened. She then tried to hush me and started baby talking my niece and said that she should also try to be nicer to all the kids at school because kindness goes both ways. I was totally livid at this point and pulled my girlfriend aside and quietly but angrily told her that she needs to learn when to shut the F up. She started getting riled up at me and started rambling about how statistics are on her side. I don't know what she meant. I wasn't really processing what she was saying, but I told her to get out of my grandma's house and just leave already. This morning, I got multiple calls from my girlfriend's sisters calling me abusive and a prick. I know my words were harsh, but I thought my girlfriend was talking in a disgusting manner to my niece. Am I the bad guy?
I'm just gonna sit back and let y'all talk because this is gonna be real fun.
She knew they were black, right? Did she knew she knew one, she was dating a black man, right? So she should have figured out, you know what I should do? Keep my mouth shut. Just don't say anything. Apologize because kind words go both. What? What?
And then you hug her, and that girl just called the little girl an N-word. You don't give a hug after you say that.
He should have told her to leave. He should have told her it was over. And his sisters getting at him, they need to shut their entire mouth. Oh, he should be madder at them. You know who's the a-hole in the story? The girlfriend and them sisters that said, well, you shouldn't have talked to her like that. No, yes, he should have. Yes, he should have. He clearly should have talked to her like that. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and the niece,
I think we're getting a couple of things mixed up. Parker, yeah, but you got to remember that we don't know the age of this niece, so she's just repeating what was told to her, which was, hey, if somebody just told me that you can't be rich because you the N-word, then of course with somebody else in her family who is the same color as her says something like that, she's gonna repeat it. Anna, he was hugging the niece saying it's gonna be okay.
Oh, okay, that's what he should have did.
Then the girlfriend came in and I don't know what the hell she was talking about, but it was
baby talked to the little girl, right?
Yeah, it was a baby talk that she started with, and I don't think he was trying to be mean. Let me help you out, you idiot. If you use the N-word, you wasn't trying to be nice. I'm sorry, but not sorry. You wasn't trying to be nice if the N-word comes out of your mouth at any way. There is no nice way of saying that word. There is no funny way of saying that word. There's no cutesy way of saying that word.
Yeah, this is breakupable. This is a breakupable offense. This right here, this right here.
Self-hating black man dating a white woman that likes him but hates his
people. Exactly.
Hates his. He don't even come in and say, hey, yeah. He just knows he didn't say ex-girlfriend. Oh, now he says, oh, and hello, everybody. I told you, these be coming in fire. You piece of no good crap in that crap.
Oh, and hello, everybody.
Hey, how y'all doing, everybody?
And he gonna still be hanging there. No, they all a-holes, except for the children. He's the a-hole for keep on dating Miss Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
Then she's the racist. Now, words go both. You could have been nicer. Girl, you wasn't even there. The sisters are racist, or the sisters are a-holes because they sit up there taking up for this girl who's insulting their niece. Their niece. And, oh, gosh. Yeah. There's three a-holes in this story. Yeah.
About after he took her. Yeah, pretty much. No, here is the deal. This is why. First of all, I'm going with what Thea said. You didn't say X, because it would have been X a long time. It should have been X when you were throwing her out. We're done by the further you drive away, the less light that I have in you. So keep going.
They gonna call him and tell him he out of line. No, you're out of line.
What age do you think it is the cutoff for when a child would get a pass for saying this? I don't totally know, but what do you all think? I think you need to teach your children as early as possible for their understanding that this will not be tolerated.
Ooh, see.
I said for understanding. Because at the very least, I would teach my child as early as I possibly can, the N-word will not be tolerated.
As a person that
said
says
to you.
it,
I heard a funny story. That somebody would always come down the stairs of their apartment and say hi to a friend. And the guy down below would always say, "What's up, my N-word?" And the guy coming down would say, "Not much, my G, just hanging." And there was a little girl, and I really do think little, I think we're talking she was 3 or 4, white girl, who was hearing this exchange every day and assumed that it was their names. And so this tiny little thing comes up one day where the guy isn't normally, the guy who is normally down there wasn't. And so she took it upon herself to give him the greeting. And he just very kindly knelt down and explained to her that wasn't a good word. His name is Sun Michaud. He is a Harvard linguistic professor who teaches Bella Jitsu. He made this whole curriculum. It's incredible because if you think of like nurses, EMTs, people who come into black neighborhoods, homes, you want to be able to understand and get across in those moments of what that dialect is. And I've listened to it now for over a year, and it's still hard to get. So, is there an age? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, if the child's 10, 11, 12, you know.
No.
You know your little snot nosed
Once
little
you've
child.
gone to school,
I would say 5 or 6, but I'll let you slide at 5. 5, I'm okay. I'll let you slide this time. But 10, nah, you ain't sliding, bruh. Nah, little bruh,
it
you
better
ain't
not be
sliding. No.
happening again. And no.
I'm sorry. Surprisingly enough, I am actually on Theus' side. There's a zero age to get a pass. That word has to be taught. It does, and it has to be. And the reason I say that is for this, because if you let it slide at whatever age, because you don't think the child will understand that is a bad word, then that's the equivalent of saying that they can't say the cuss words known to. And you know daggone well they say cuss words and you chastise them. No, You don't say that word. You don't use that kind of language in my house. Then you got to do the same thing with the N word. No, you do not use that word in public. You do not use that word in this house. You do not use that word around me. You do not use that word around when I'm not around. You do not use that word around your friends. You do not use that word around family. You do not use that word around a pet dog. You do not use that word, period. It is hateful. It was hurtful. And that's exactly what it was created to do. Be hateful and hurtful. Do not use that word, period, point blank, in a discussion. So I said that. So I did say to the age of the understanding of it. If your child can understand, do not use cuss words. Your child can understand not using that word. It's not that hard. A bad word is a bad word. Just put the N word as the bad word. So I've always been like that. I never liked that word. I never liked being called that word. I've never stopped anybody else from using it. That's your thing. You grew up with it, whatever. That is not my hill to die on. Just don't call me that, because I'm not one. My mama didn't raise one. So I'm not going to be one because of your dialect and how your upbringing was and everything else. And that's for my black community. For my white community, it's going to be a totally different thing, because it's going to be kind of hard to explain to you as I'm chasing you down the street to catch up. It's not going to go the way you think it is, bro. Sorry. I'll explain to you as soon as I catch up to you why I can use that word and you can't. There's a video, and I have to find it because it is so funny. It is so funny when the white community, and it was a newscast or a sportscaster thing, and
Oh, it was a newscast. And he's like, go ahead, use it. I won't do one thing.
And the guy was sitting, one of the white casters was like, this just don't make any sense that we're not allowed to use that word, but they're allowed to use. And you can see the black newscaster just putting his hands in his head like, yeah, here we go again. So he got sick of it. So he kneeled down. He's talking about, it's just bad that we can't use that word. And he said, use it. Go ahead, say it. Well, you know I can't say it because why? Why? You so badly want to say the word, say it. Say it right here. Here, I'll help you. Say it. Go ahead. Say it. Oh, we got to go to a commercial. He's about, I'll help you say the word. If you have to say that word so badly, say it. You don't want to use that word. You want to use that word because it was denied to you. It was denied to you for a reason, because there's no good that come out of that word. Everything that you say, once you say that word, is deemed fair. Whatever happens, happens. So to answer your question, Parker, as soon as a child can understand that you can't say certain words simply because you heard it so well, it's the same time as putting that word in too. Let me see. That's a good way to come in. He's already full and engaged. I do that all the time. Yeah, but he can say hello first before he go nuclear. Theus. Well, I wish them MFers would say something. How about it? Oh, and hello. There's no age to say okay for a white person, period. I don't care what your black friends let you do. These are idiots that can get these hands too.
These hands.
It's never a simple word. It's a word that has to be targeted in order to be deployed. So the real question is, what environment is a 5-year-old in?
Well, she already heard it in school. Yeah. That's what she said. She said she heard it in school.
No, she didn't hear it in school. The bully told her that.
Yeah, the bully, which I'm assuming.
She said, I want to be a rich president, and pretty much the little kid said, you can't be simply because you are N-word. Not you're black, not you're a woman, because you the N-word. He didn't let it slide, but he didn't confess the little girl by trying to explain why they could use it to each other, but she shouldn't use it.
That's to the white girlfriend.
Oh.
I think that's what Susan means. I don't know.
But he didn't confuse.
You should apologize. You should forgive him, because trust me, I believe in forgiveness. It's the one thing that I always say: forgive, forgive, forgive. However, your actions have consequences. I can forgive you all day, but what you do has a consequence. And her consequence, he need to break up with her. Just go ahead, end this thing already. Find you somebody else, because she ain't the one.
All right, let's move on to the next story. That's Anna's story?
Oh, the guy coming down the stairs and a young girl.
Oh, okay. Um, okay.
No, he did not let it slide,
Nope.
but he was age appropriate, and yeah,
Yeah, because at that situation, you
that's
learned
the
that
only way
she
she learned it.
learned it. And he
Yeah,
probably
she
feels
learned
kind of
it.
bad because he probably was like, dang, she
He
learned it
actually,
from me. She learned it from
Yeah.
me.
this is a good video because he really did say that it made him really rethink using the N-word himself.
It
But
does.
some of us just got bad habits.
It is, but you got to break it. Like every
I
bad
know, be
habit.
trying, but I'm like, you need.
Nope. I've never had a problem stopping.
Oh,
Never. I just haven't. All right, next video, which I want to put in as the worst person of the year. I just don't think it lives up to its billing, but I will leave the vote up to everybody else. If y'all believe this is the worst person, this should be a worst person of the year nomination, I'll leave it in. If not, we'll move on. So here it is. I lost my daughter and my husband because of my mother-in-law.
I'm a 46-year-old woman, and my ex-husband is 45. We were college sweethearts and married at 26. Right before we got married, I gave birth to a beautiful daughter who's now 21 years old. I loved both of them dearly, and we've been a happy family for about 16 years before everything came crumbling down. Our only problem was my ex's mother. She always had a strong dislike for me. She never thought that I was good enough for her baby boy. We had many fights, and my ex cut contact with her after the wedding when she tried wearing white to it. We had many encounters with her years after that, sending us gifts for our daughter, purposely trying to get us to contact her again, and seeing her outside of our house. 4 years ago, I got home from work to see my ex and his mom together on the couch. My ex was on the verge of tears, yelling and calling me a cheater. I tried to explain that I never cheated, but his mother supposedly had proof. She said that she saw me with another man out in a restaurant together. I'm very faithful and loyal, but he refused to hear me out. We got into a big argument before he packed up and left to stay with his mother. When my daughter got home from a friend's house, she too started to blame me when she found out from her dad. She went to live with her dad while he sent out divorce papers. It took about a year before it was finalized. He got custody of our daughter, and I was granted visitation rights, but she never wanted to see me. It took a long time to move on. I sought therapy and fell into a huge depression. I know that my ex's mother lied to tear us apart. I can't believe that he listened to her so carelessly. I don't blame my daughter, but it still hurts. I moved out of the house to allow my ex and my daughter to live there. I ended up moving to a small apartment. It's been 4 years, and I've finally started to be happy again. I made new friends, we had so much fun, and I got a promotion at work. I still miss my family, especially my daughter, but I can't do anything about it. Well, 2 days ago, my daughter called me. It's been 4 years since I've last seen her or heard from her. She said that my ex's mother admitted to lying. She said that my ex got a new girlfriend and his mother was furious, claiming that he shouldn't have one after all the trouble she did to get rid of me. They got into a heated fight before he kicked his mom out. I nearly wanted to cry. I thought his mom would never admit to the lie, and now I'm hearing from my daughter. She asked to meet up with me, and she apologized so many times. I told her we could meet tomorrow. Yesterday, I met my daughter at a restaurant, but she brought along my ex. That was something she never mentioned, nor did I agree to it. He was apologizing, saying how much he missed me and that he dumped his girlfriend. He said he wanted us to be together again. I excused myself and left them there. I got home to lots of phone calls and text messages from my daughter. She wanted us to talk and called me a douchebag for leaving. I told her that I wasn't comfortable and that she needed to understand. I had to mute my phone and put it down for a bit. I haven't responded and I'm not sure what to do. I love her, but I can't talk to her with him there. Not yet anyways. It feels so fast. I wanted to talk to her one-on-one. I'm deeply hurt and crying as I'm typing this. I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Yeah, this mother gets
She went up there,
yeah.
but she not the worst, but she's a nominee.
So Tracy says she's a nominee. Anna saying she's a nominee. So everybody in the comments, is she a nominee for the mother-in-law we're talking about? Worst
And
person
the
of the year.
ex-husband is a douchebag. He gonna just go right out the words to his mother. Like, if you're in a commit, oh my goodness, you're in a committed relationship, and I'm not saying that parents purposely lie, but my ex-mother-in-law broke our family.
Yeah.
But the other person has to be willing to let their family be broken. That's the thing. This ex-husband let his mother's lies get in his head. He wanted to believe it.
He didn't investigate it at all.
Yeah, you could at least ask her, hey, have you been cheating? And if she said no, she'd be like, well, what proof? There's no proof. Unless she saw them going into the hotel. Okay, and then they come out holding hands. Okay, maybe. But still, no. Sometimes just keep your mouth shut.
All right, what everybody else in the comment is saying while I'm making my comments, they get nominated for one of the worst people of the year. I don't think I'll leave it up to everybody else. Just a nomination of it.
I can never give it to a child, but I really wish that little girl had understood that it was wrong to crash the father upon what she thought was just going to be a mother and a daughter getting back together after all that time.
She could have said, she knew what she was doing, being a little manipulator like her father. Like father, like daughter.
Here's the thing. Because this is the conversation that I would have if it happens to me. To both of them. For one, husband, we ain't never getting back together. I don't trust you. Sorry. You literally took the word from somebody and just flowed with it, and you was okay with it, and you with no proof whatsoever. We're done. I couldn't get back with you for a million years. For the daughter, and what I'm going to say is harsh, but it's true because I'm fighting for my mental health. I have no problem talking to you. I have no problem putting our relationship back together. But sweetheart, it's going to be on my time, not yours.
Yep.
It's been 4 years since I talked to you. You ain't finna rush the process now because you found out the truth. It don't work that way. Because I've been through a lot. Missing you, therapy, divorce, moving on with my life, meeting new people, and then, oh my gosh, I am so terribly sorry. Can we just pretend none of this happened?
It never happened.
No, absolutely not. We sure won't. We surely won't. I have no problem whatsoever having a relationship for you, but it will be on my time, not yours. And if you can't handle that, it's been 4 years, sweetheart. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, seriously.
I realized I made a mistake. Yeah, your mistake was listening to your mama. Mistake. Mistakes are, oops, I turned left when I should have turned right. You believed your mama because you're a mama's boy.
And I don't even get the husband for the simple fact that you went no contact because she wore white to the wedding. So what made you contact her now? Or did you not actually go no contact with your mom
No,
and
he
that's
didn't
what you
go no
told the wife?
contact. Because what was she doing in the house?
Right. If I'm going no contact with you, that means I don't know you coming over. You're not coming over. You're not coming in my house because I don't know you coming here because I'm not talking to you. That's what no contact means. So yeah, you told the wife that you was no contact, but you was in contact. And you also a blittering moron for she's cheating on you.
Okay.
I'm a grown man. The first thing out of my mouth is, really? She's cheating on me? What's the proof that you have?
She was at a restaurant with a
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I got all that. What's the proof that you have? Where's the pictures then? Because me and Foxy talked about this the other day. What if you saw your, how did she put, oh, we was using our in-laws. If you saw your brother-in-law out with another girl. So first of all, she said the camera's coming out. She taking pictures. She videotaping, taking pictures, and everything else, and blah blah blah, and everything else. So I said, "Oh, okay. So what would you do if you saw your sister out with a guy?" Oh, I'm
Nothing.
gonna walk over there and pull her to the side. Well, whoa, wait a minute. How come your sister get a conversation, but the brother-in-law gets pictures and videotapes and hey, this ain't even. This ain't equal. This ain't right here. Hold up, something ain't clicking. Oh, I'm just gonna let her know that I know. Okay, so what that mean? In other words, what I was getting my point of getting to was you the mother-in-law, you the mother, you see your daughter-in-law out with another dude. Is not the first thing you pull out is your camera saying, "Hey, I'm gonna videotape this. I'm gonna take some pictures." So when I confront my son saying she's cheating, here's the proof.
Well, first of all, I would have handled this the wrong way. I would, if I saw my daughter-in-law, like I would have children to have a daughter-in-law, but if I had a daughter-in-law and I see her in a restaurant with some other man that's not my child, I'm confronting her. I'm gonna skip this whole thing. Be like, what you doing with this man that's not your husband?
You can
And then,
confront them all you want to. It's up to them to believe it.
no, I'm talking about way before I take pictures. I mean, I'm gonna take pictures, but I'm gonna still confront him. Be like, hey, what you doing here with him? Who this? Is this your coworker? Are y'all conspiring to get my son a gift? Is that what you doing? Yep,
Both
I'm
the mother-in-law
confronting.
and the exes are assholes. The daughter made a bad mistake.
Well, the daughter is messy like her daddy.
I'm confused about why she was mad someone wore white to the wedding.
Because you don't do that. That's tacky. The
You,
bride is to wear white, not everybody else.
the bride is to wear white, and I think what she was saying was she wore a white wedding dress. I don't think that's what he was saying, but anything weddings is so funny the more I keep listening to these stories because it's like, okay, y'all taking this way more serious than anything. But basically, you never upstage the bride, so you never wear something that is spectacular. You wear something that's formal, you wear something that's nice, but you never wear something that all eyes are on you. During the
Right.
wedding, all eyes should be on the bride.
And the groom, but yes, mostly the bride.
Yeah, they don't give a rat's ass about the groom.
Yeah, he's
All
just
eyes
there.
on the bride. The groom could come in with a nice little suit. When another guy comes in with a nice form-fitted tuxedo that looks really nice and everything else. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and go, ooh, dude, you ruined the wedding.
You don't do as many weddings as I've been to. I know. Oh, don't wear nothing white. I go get something pastel. I'll get something dark. But I know. Oh, don't wear white. That's not my cup. That not on that day. I wear any other color but I don't even wear white shoes. I don't carry a white purse. No, it's not my color. Now, when my day comes, I wish somebody would wear some white. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. You're going to get told real quick. Go.
You know I'm showing up in a white tux.
You not invited. So why don't you just...
Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tracy over here. Hey.
And my wedding planning team will quickly escort you out.
I'm going to get them to wear white. What you going to do? As a matter of
Don't
fact,
mess with her wedding day.
as a matter of fact, I'm going to make sure I'm going to change the invitation. White clothes only. White attire only.
And as a dark-skinned black person, that color looks really good on me. Oh, no, I wish I would. I wish I would.
Don't even wear white socks.
No, I wear socks, period. But don't wear them. Don't wear white socks.
Oh, my God.
Only way you can get away with wearing white is if you are white. If you are white, well, I can't do nothing about that.
What?
The only way that you can wear white is if you are
I
white,
just-
but
I
you
just
still got
got
to
it.
cover yourself
I-
up with something that's another color, period. Your skin, that's the only thing white that you can wear if you are white, period. You better cover up with something that's a pastel color. Well, I'm telling you what colors to wear anyway, so I don't know why we having this conversation. Better not wear no white. I don't want to see no white. The groom can't even wear white. He better not show up in a white tux. Oh, he gonna get told, nah, this over. Over.
Wow. Wow.
White is for me.
Yeah, we got it. Wear white. Hey, we got it. Gee, Buzz. Foxy's videos of the week. Our first video of the night comes from Parker. Like I said, the emails are filling up, folks. Get in while you can. I read clips of this. I saw titles of this on people's videos, but I was too busy to look at it. This lady has gone viral because simply somebody asked her, "What is woke?"
We hope that, parents of all political stripes will pick up the book. This is sort of a woke reimagining that is very, very, very far left. Only 7% of Americans consider themselves very liberal, and probably fewer of them consider themselves to be woke. And so, when we talk about traditional...
What does that mean to you? Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and redo society in order to create hierarchies of oppression. It's hard to explain in a 15-second soundbite.
Yeah, look, your time.
I mean, it's one of those things that everybody is weighing in, inveighing against wokeness. We do some of it on this show as well. It's definitely something you know what it is when you see it, but.
And it means that this is going viral, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
This is one of those things I tell Trumpism. It's the same type of argument where he says something that he knows is a piece of crap, that he knows is a lie, but it's everywhere and everybody knows about it and everybody sees it every day. So this is the same thing as it's woke and it's everywhere and it's every day and everybody knows it and everybody feels it and everybody experiences it. Okay, so what is it? Okay, come on. If something happens every day to everyone on every single moment, and you can't have a definition of exactly what it is, you're
You
full
wrote
of it.
a book about it.
She
You
said
have a
she
whole
spent a whole chapter.
you
She
had a
said
whole
I
chapter
spent a
of it.
whole chapter on it. Kate, what's
Hey,
the definition?
I tell you
And
what,
then it's a hierarchy. This is gonna go viral, wouldn't it? Yeah, pretty
I
much.
tell you what, lady, I'll do you a
You
favor. I'll do you a
re-energized.
favor. I will go to commercial. I will go to commercial right now. What are commercials like 30 seconds, maybe a minute or two? I will go to commercial. Go get the book. Because you
Yeah,
have
go
a
get
whole
your own
chapter
book that
on
you
it,
wrote.
remember? You have a whole chapter. Go get the book. Read what the definition is that you put in the book.
You spent the whole chapter on it.
You spent the whole chapter on it. So read it.
That video, I've seen that about 20 times.
Me too.
But he just kills me with the it's everywhere and everyone knows it. And by the way, and it creates hierarchy? Really? How?
This is gonna go viral, isn't it? I can't define it, but I wrote a whole chapter of it in my book. This is gonna go viral. Yeah, pretty much. You got that part right.
Yeah. Oh, this video is going to be good. It's going around everywhere. It should. It should. It's full of crap. I'm sorry, but it is. We're literally
You
asking
asked
you.
for an interview.
And did you
Prepare.
notice? Did you notice? Did you notice the reason why that person asked? You use woke 2 to 3 times before she asked, "What is woke?" You used it 2 to 3 times, maybe 3. I'm not sure, but you used it at least twice before she asked, "What is woke?" And she wasn't even demeaning about it. She just was, and I understand why she questioned it the way she is. She didn't say, "What is woke? What is woke?" No, she said, "Explain to me what is woke from your definition, so we can be on the same page, so we would be understanding." Now you know in the back of that woman's mind, she was like, "I'm so sick and tired of her using that damn word," and she
Yeah,
probably
you
have
can
no
tell by her
idea
eye
what
roll.
she's talking about. So I'm just gonna say it in a political way. And old boy, dude, shut the hell up, because you came in and said absolutely nothing to add to the conversation. We see it every day. Really? If we see it every day, you should know what it is. It's like saying we see the sun every single day. Well, what is the sun? No, sorry. I actually know what the sun is. I know what it does because I see it every day. Everybody sees it every day. It is around the world. We feel it every day. Since the birth, I know how to define things that I see every day, that is happening every day, that is affecting me every day. You use the word woke, and all of a sudden, you, Nostradamus, pretty much figured, yeah, this is going to go viral because, yes, it did go viral. Bree just asked a simple question. Yes.
Yeah, she really did.
Yeah, it was a simple question. And it was a nice way of saying it. So we can be on the same page.
Yeah, because if I'd have asked that same question, it wouldn't have been as nice as Brianna. No, it wouldn't have been nice. No.
I seen this and I LOL. I have to write a chapter in the book. She had no idea what. And like I said,
the whole
I would have
chapter.
been so nice. I was like, look, listen, just to make sure that this, that I'm not putting words in your mouth, that we're not going in a direction that no need for this to go into direction about. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break. You can go get the book since you have a chapter on it, and you can just read from it.
Just read from the
You may
chapter.
not have been prepared for my question, and I apologize for it. But since you have a chapter on it, it will be easy for you to read from that book what your definition of woke is, so we can all be on the same page.
Nah.
I guarantee you. Oh, I'm sorry. She had another obligation to get to, so she had to go. So remember to pick up the book. I'm full of shit from Barnes and Nobles, and we will be right back. You can take your time.
That was the best part.
Take your time. We're here.
And
all
the guy answering was so like, I gotta take up for this lady. Shut up. That's why I stopped watching the
That was so funny about him was, did you notice that he was turning redder and redder as the video went on? I was feeling like,
because he don't know what woke is
bruh,
either.
this lady's a complete idiot. For once, I appreciate Bree. for once, yeah.
We know, Susan, you're not a Bree fan.
And I could take her or leave her. Honestly, it's like blind squirrel gets a nut once in a while. So yeah, I appreciate it. It did go viral and everything else, but she
What's
ain't.
your definition? I wrote a chapter in my book. This is going viral, isn't it?
Yes, Nostradamus, it surely is. You called it. Okay, next video. Again, I'm not even gonna go into a big long. Just know your history or shut the F up.
Yeah, I didn't mention a 2008 financial collapse under Obama because Obama wasn't in office in 2008. I talked about the 08 financial crash as it pertains to President Bush, who was the president in 08. At this point in time, it's got to be one of two things. Either you guys are bots that are fucking with me, or we have a serious educational problem in this country.
I wonder which one it is.
I'm going with a little A, a little B.
I'm going with both.
I'm literally going with both. I literally think y'all just.
And this is one of those times I think both sides do it. Because you have the people, they hate Trump so much, it's like any bad news to hear, like, he's going to jail. No. And then you have other people that if Biden does something, he said that the country he's dividing the country. And like every president is always dividing the country. Oh, except for Reagan. Sorry. Reagan was a unifier.
Of the white community, sure.
No, I mean their opinion, not in real people's opinion.
It would have been less embarrassing if she said just hang up on the call and said she had a back.
Yeah, she could just disconnected. Oh, my internet went bad. I don't know what happened.
Look, that's what she should have did. Look, she should have said, so here's my definition of woke. Woke is
And not move.
Don't move. Don't say nothing. Oh, she froze.
Gone.
Oh wow, we just missed her. It must have been a bad connection.
Oh.
But go ahead and pay that money to get the book that doesn't
It's
have
not
the definition in
homelessness
it
that has conservatives concerned. It's wokeness. CRT. Minnie Mouse wearing pants.
I really think both things are true. I really think we literally had somebody who said, Katrina. All that issues that we had down in Katrina, where was Obama?
Not in office.
A damn senator.
No, he wasn't even a senator at that time. He was still in Illinois by that time. That was 2009. He didn't become a senator till like a couple years later. Yeah, 5. He was still running for Congress back then. Oh my gosh.
A mystery of mysteries. No, it ain't. It's a lack of education. It is a lack of a laminated piece of paper that has the same freaking answers on it. Remember that video I was telling you about that had the most views when a insult from Republicans sounds more like a compliment? And one of the people, and I kid you not, just went, ha 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 ha. You really just don't know.
Oh, you really have no clue.
Yeah,
Clue.
you
Yeah.
really have no clue. What?
Thanks.
Dude, that's not even a sentence. That
That
I
has.
mean, it's a sentence, but
is a sentence, but it's a sentence that doesn't make sense. You
yeah, it
really
didn't
have no
make
clue of
sense.
what. You really have no more. Nope, nope. That's all you got to say.
Just like I hear we need to unify America.
Oh
When was
no,
America
I'll
unified?
never
That was
forget what
1900 and never.
I remember that statement. I remember. I'll never ever forget that statement.
Oh,
And I'm
Carter
not
gave
gonna
me a
tell the person.
correction.
I'm not gonna tell the person's name because he is a friend of mine. We just don't hang like that anymore. But the
It was
first
me.
time that I heard that statement after 4 years of Trump, remember all the 4 years we went through, all the BS we went through with Trump. It was so amazing when Biden won. Okay, now we need to unify. We need to come together. We need to be as one as a country. And I simply said, it is amazing that you never said that one damn time when Trump was
Because
in
Trump
office.
unified them. They will sit there and tell you
You
Trump
didn't say that
unified us.
one time when Trump was in office, but as soon as you realize he finna go now, and just like everything else, just like how the radical white evangelical people are, you think if the minorities take over, we're gonna treat you the same way that you treated us, even though you have no record of that ever happening. Now you on the assumption that the way you treated us when Trump was in office, we're gonna treat you the same way when Biden was in office. So now we need to unify. We need to come together as a country. So please don't fuck with us like we fuck with you when Trump was in charge.
No, now we'll just attack trans rights and wokeness and stop teaching Black history. That's what we'll do.
Obama was elected U.S. Senator in
Take
Illinois
away
in
women.
'04, and Katrina was in '05. That's what I thought. So he was a
Oh,
senator in
so he
'04.
was a senator. United States senator or
Yeah,
Illinois senator? Oh, he said United
I
States.
believe United States
That's what
Senator,
I thought. That he
2009.
Oh,
was.
but he
That he
wasn't
was.
president. He wasn't
No,
president. Okay.
No, he
no.
wasn't president. But that was my point. Where was Obama during Katrina? On the golf course somewhere. I like to get to the bottom of this. Even if he was on the golf course, he's an effing senator. What the hell was he gonna do?
Now, when Trump goes play golf, he's getting exercise. Have you seen Trump?
Man,
Have you
Trump,
seen Trump? It don't look like exercise is something he's not getting. Well, let's just keep it real. But he can play golf every single day. Now, like I said, both sides do it. It's just the right does it to
he
the
was in the
extreme
Senate,
Nazi.
but yeah, some people are so clueless they think he was the president at the time. How long did you think of? Okay, this is how stupid.
Presidents can only serve a
Mm.
maximum of 8 years. He's not FDR. He wasn't elected four
This
times.
fool was in office since. Okay, let me help y'all out. You really thought Obama was in office since Katrina?
No president, not in office, because he technically was
Well,
in
I mean, I
office.
meant the Oval Office. I'm sorry. You really thought that he was in the Oval Office since Katrina?
Why was George W. Bush flying around in helicopters then?
I mean, we literally talked about Bush, Katrina. We
Kanye, when he made sense, said that George W. Bush don't like black people.
And here's the funny thing about it is this is the hilarious part. When did Bush actually start taking it seriously? Where was Bush when he started taking the serious how serious Katrina was?
On a golf
On
course?
a golf course. Man, let me get out of here. I'm feeling like Tracy. I'm trying not to cuss as much this year as I get older, but boy, y'all pissing me off with this stupidity. So we've seen that you don't understand the definition of woke. We've seen that you don't want to know or learn history. Gosh, where do all of this information come from? Who do you watch that this is the issue that you really don't think
Fox News.
right.
But it turns out there's quite a bit of video you haven't seen. And that video tells a very different story about what happened on January 6th.
Good evening. We begin tonight speaking power to truth. Turns out it's just easier that way. Now, if you've seen my text, you know I need to change the narrative that I'm a shill for the Republican Party with no independent journalistic integrity. So, here's some footage the Speaker of the House gave me. Now, it may seem disappointing that after thousands of hours of tape, the bombshell I came up with is that people who broke the law sometimes were walking, but I'd argue these calm moments are the most important. After all, the left doesn't want you to see all the tape of happy people waving on the Titanic, or the footage when the Hindenburg was flying. What are they hiding? As for January 6th, I'm specifically not showing you the noose, or the chanting, or the stampede, or the fighting, because what better way to show you that the media creates a narrative with selective editing than by selectively editing different footage into another narrative? Now I'm going to stare at the camera like a bad high school actor emoting in a Sam Shepard play. We'll be right back.
In case anybody was confused about that, Tucker Carlson a while back, maybe last week probably, showed a videotape again of January 6th for a group of people who want us to move on. Y'all really don't want us to move on. But anyway, he showed a videotape of the beginning of people walking through the Capitol. Now, Marlon, what's the big deal? It started off with them walking through the Capitol, and then it started to escalate. Well, what he showed you was the door that the people walked through. As they walked through, they started walking the halls and being calm and looking through things. That is his video. Because the real video was they didn't walk through the door. They smashed through the windows and crawled through. The few people that you saw walking was the few. The mob was behind them. And when the mob got in, that walking became not much walking. That looking on the table and just being curious became less curious. Tucker, you something else too.
But you know what?
You are
Marlon,
something
the
else.
sad thing is people are going to watch his tapes and think, yep, that makes perfect sense. Somebody finally told the truth. I can hear it now. I can just hear those people that watch Fox News like, yes, somebody's telling the truth. And that's the sad part.
I really want some Fox viewers to hear just how much disdain is in everything from the host to the managers of Fox News. They know they're uneducated. They call them I don't know.
I love my uneducated
Educated voter.
That's Trump.
Yeah, we know, but
oh no,
But Murdoch and all them put out
and this
really.
is so funny. Guess who they decide all of a sudden now to start protesting against? I don't know the right word to use right now because it's late. Now Fox don't want anything to do with Trump.
yeah, now they're on DeSantis. But
Now
the
they on
basis with Trump.
DeSantis. They don't want Trump no more. Don't come on the show no more. We ain't asking you to come on the show no more. We ain't gonna deal with you no more. People, Fox News knows how to play you. They've been playing you for the longest time. There are the same people who sits there and tells you how they looking after the little man while never being effing poor a freaking day. Tucker Carlson has never been poor.
He's an
since
heir to the
birth.
Swanson fortune. Like the Swanson, like the little TV dinners you watch.
I'm trying
Swanson.
to explain to you, this dude has never been poor a day in his life. That's not hyperbole. That's reality. He's never been poor. He wouldn't understand your way of life in a billion years. And that puts you another way. And he wouldn't care.
But Marlon,
You
they
are
don't
feeding
care.
him.
They too deep in. They don't. If you showed them the text that the Fox anchors were sending each other, they would tell you you're lying. They would say you're lying. The whole thing's a lie. It's just false news. You're against them. You're against the sources telling us the truth. They're just too far gone.
No Texans always fly around in helicopters. Okay.
She talking about the last route.
Oh, I know. And horses been out since 1990. I'm saying, I'm going with it. Why not? We just figured out that dogs walk on all fours. Hell, I don't know. Civics is lacking. Obama was elected in 08, but sworn in 09. So everything 08, the uniform blame Obama for. Yes, exactly.
That was.
But that's the deal, though. Is it don't matter because they try to put Obama with whatever tragedy happens. We figured Katrina happened. Obama was in office, senator, not Oval. So obviously he has something to do with it. And we need to get to the bottom of it. We really don't need to get to the bottom of it. I can explain it to you really simple. He's a damn senator, a junior senator at that. He has no power to do jack squat.
Yeah, he was a junior senator.
He was a junior senator. Katrina killed over half the amount of people that died from 9/11. Then George Bush put forward half the amount of resources towards New Orleans as he did New York. I'm guessing.
Yeah, you correct, Parker.
Yeah, perfect. It was pretty good, though. That was a pretty good Tucker voice.
Mm-hmm.
What?
He had Tucker down. She just didn't press her space.
Oh. Wealth is funny. Tucker is a trust fund baby making millions per year on his own. I can't imagine working or keeping a schedule for Ish if he had $3 million in the bank. At this point in time, I pretty much figured that this is a freaking hobby and he loves creating chaos and control. He had Tucker down. Fox viewers want to be lied to. They won't believe their messages are truly disrespecting them. They're, like Tracy said, they're in too deep.
They just in. They're like, no, they're telling us the truth.
Tucker gives them permission to not feel as bad as January said. Yeah. Tucker calls it as a net worth of $30 million. I'll say it because it's my show and y'all gonna dispute it because that's what it is, because you're right, you're in too deep. Either you don't want to admit that you've been lied to all this time, or you're just gullible and everything has been told to you.
The media sources that out Fox are jealous. Literally, somebody wrote that on Facebook. I was like, you know what? I like to be friends with everybody on Facebook. Let me just block this. Let me just block this. That was a pretty good show. That was a really good show. I appreciate it. And before things even say nothing, it would be a lot better if you was here. But it was a pretty good show. Tracy, tell everybody where they can find you. You can find me on TracyMediaLLC.com.
Goes to what I often say: people just want sweet words, addicted to the candy. Leftists share that too. You ain't never lied about the leftists. Yes, say what you want to hear, so it sounds sweet, and you can go to sleep tonight, peaceful, while the world is burning around you. And I'll tell everybody where they can find you.
AureliaEtc.com.
Please also do not forget to go to Complex Mind Simple Man. The website helps support this and all his causes. Look at some of his videos. Tomorrow, I have no idea because it really depends on how I feel when I wake up. I may feel like we need to go ahead and finish this history, or I may feel like that we need to be.
It's ComplexSimpleMan.com.
Please go to ComplexManSimpleMind.com.
Nope.
I knew I said it wrong. Say it again.
It is ComplexSimpleMan.com. No mind. No mind in there.
ComplexSimpleMan.com.
So things doesn't have a mind, so it's Complex Simple.
The website is different. I don't know why.
Also,
why?
okay, I never told y'all today. I worked my butt off today, so the fact that about it, I am so tired. I literally did work, so I did a lot of stuff. I'm not complaining about it because it was stuff that needed to be done, but I'm like, Marlon, just do the show. Marlon, just do the show. Into the flow. Marlon, just do the show. Perfect show, great flow, loved it. Thank you, Theus. Even though I can't say your show, so why don't you tell us the show so I can flash it up on here so everybody can know your website? Reminder, Tuesday is the election day for Tracy. Reminder, Tuesday is the election day for Tracy Robinson. We should all make a for how much percentage of the vote he gets for the city. Parker, please do not forget to email me Tuesday. Please.
Forget it, Parker. Don't remember it.
Please do not forget. Please do not forget to email me because I know I'm gonna go forget. But please do not forget to email me.
This didn't happen like forever ago.
The interview did, but his election is coming up.
The election is this Tuesday.
Wow. Baby,
Please,
you're on it.
Parker, I am begging you, please do not let me forget. Please. I want to remember this. Please. I will do a show.
No, you can't. No, you can't because I do a show Tuesday. Nope, can't do it.
I'll wait till you go off the air.
Yep.
I'll wait till you get off the air. Please do not forget.
You would just on for 30 seconds just to say something. We know him.
You know I've done it before. I've come on for 30 seconds and got right back off. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. Again, the third season of Radical Truth to Power and Saturday Night Vibe will be next Saturday with a brand new look, so to speak. I just can't tell you exactly what the brand new look is until next Saturday, but trust me, you will see it. So, for Tracy Carson, for Anna Hart, I am Marlon Clyburn. We will see you when we see you. Oh, and Theus Robinson. Peace. I think he gonna get like 2% of the votes, and then I'm just gonna laugh my ass off for the next 30 seconds.